Your home for our Atlanta Falcons, Hawks, and Atlanta United. Your teams play here. Sports Radio 92.9, The Game.
Let's talk about our Falcons. You just heard, okay, if you didn't, I thought it was an interesting take what Mike Wall had to say about specifically Caleb McGarry. Listen, you can pick any of these offensive linemen from around the league. All offensive linemen usually watch all offensive linemen. If you're a defensive player, you watch defensive guys. This is just how this works. And you're always looking to see what a guy's footwork is, his technique. We used to talk with Chuck Smith about this, his signature pass move. Right. These are things that you pay attention to. And Mike Wall just came on here and said, listen, Caleb McGarry didn't block anybody last week, Mike. So it is going to be a challenge again in week 2 for Green Bay for this offensive line to step up and protect Desmond Ridder. I say that only because, Mike, I need to see improvement from Desmond Ridder.
Look, if you want to see Drake London and Kyle Pitts get close to 100 yards or 50 yards, I mean, you need to be, you got to protect him. You got to be protecting Desmond Ridder. Got to have a pocket. Now, for what it's worth, he thinks Rashawn Gary, when he's healthy, is better than what you saw with Derek Brown, former first-rounder out of Michigan. He's limited in practice yesterday, according to the beat reporter for the Packers. He's apparently got a knee that was dinged. He didn't have a sack or a tackle against the Bears. They had 4 sacks, by the way, on Justin Fields in that game up there at Soldier Field. But, Gary's not 100%. Our old friend Devondre Campbell's on that team.
Yep.
He talked about some of the other pieces. But, look, he looked at the tape, and he saw a guy that struggled. But if you were at Mercedes-Benz or watched it on TV, the right side had a really bad day at the office.
Can't happen again this week because we need to allow Dez to continue to grow into this job. Desmond Ridder was asked about forcing the ball to players knowing that they've had limited targets. Listen to our quarterback.
Yeah, I think that all goes into the rhythm and the timing of the game and how the game's playing out. Obviously, there are some situations where you can and can't force things, but then also, if we're running and it's going good, just keep it staying that way. Other than that, we might try something design-wise or whatever just to get him the ball, just to get him touches and get him the field. But I think that's where you get in trouble as a quarterback is obviously trying to force things, trying to create things or make things happen that aren't there.
Now, we've seen this a lot, right? With Matt, Mike and I would be screaming, just throw it to Julio.
Right.
And then people be like, yeah, but Julio's double teamed. Who cares? Throw it, Matt. And then Matt would throw it and it'd get picked off. And you go, why'd you throw it to Julio? You cannot force the issue. He is right about this. And listen, all these wide receivers, I don't know in the huddle with Drake or Pitts are saying, I'm open. But most of them feel like they're open all the time. You cannot force the issue if it's not there. He hasn't turned it over, guys, in 5 games. I'm rolling with that. That is a positive for Desmond Ridder, which means he is not trying to do too much. But I need him to do more. And I need him to be more productive this weekend, Mike. And this is why, this whole thing about does winning, is that the only thing that matters, or is it about improving your passing attack? Listen to what Ritter said about this.
Yeah, my comfort's really well. My comfort's really good with this offense and where we're at. Last week we didn't get in. We never got in the rhythm that we wanted to get in. So, you talk about the balance of the offense, and everyone talks about, they ran the ball so many times, only threw the ball this many times. Again, at the end of the day, whatever is going to help us win, that's what we're going to do. I've told you guys multiple times, I'm not a stat person, so I don't care, how many times I throw the ball or whatever. I just want to win at the end of the day. But we just want to be able to get in a good rhythm. And I think that's one thing that we're going to work, obviously, throughout this week and going into the game. Is just being able to get in a better rhythm, get out there. Obviously, no 3 and outs, get out there and just get one first drive to just get it going.
Well, again, we talked about it with Mike Wall, former Packer, about it's a mirror image. Now, they've got some big-time receivers. We talked about Dobbs out of Nevada. Watson out of North Dakota came on real late in the season, looked like a real playmaker. They've got a guy now, again, Aaron Jones is dealing with a hamstring injury. You guys know the only thing that helps a hamstring is rest, right?
Right.
But if he can't go, that's a benefit for us because yards after the catch, we will have Nate Landman in there at linebacker. As we know, we got a guy in Troy Anderson in the concussion protocol. So it's going to be about the basic stuff, the tackling, man, because both teams want to do similar things as far as, yards after the catch, getting guys in position to score.
No doubt about it. Jordan Love, by the way, 250, 3 touchdowns against Chicago last week.
Completion percentage was low. Missed a bunch of throws, but when he did, again, the receivers were doing the heavy lifting. They were doing the yards after the catch.
You know where he was great last week? 7 for 9 on 3rd down. Converted third downs.
The money down, right?
Converted 3rd downs, guys. And you keep your team on the field. You keep your scoring drives alive. I think that is a big deal for Jordan Love. Again, I said this. He looked composed. I don't know what he's going to look like against us, but he looked composed. But the Bears didn't bring any pressure. They didn't get after Jordan Love the way I thought they needed to.
And how are we? Are we going to try to do it the same way we did last week? Are we going to have the result of blitzing, which then creates those gaps, which then get you burned? That's why you want to just get your heat from your down linemen.
Isn't Caden Ellis going to take a Dukes and bump this week?
Well, a lot of guys hit us up on the text line yesterday. Go, man, that dude sounds cool.
He is.
Yeah. Now, maybe all that time he spent in New Orleans. Yeah, that sounded like a Cajun, but kid from California by way of Utah, he needs to be a stud. We need to get heat on the quarterback, and whether it's Calais Campbell or whoever else of the older veterans that we added into this, we got to get some heat, man. Can't look like we did in the first half.
So protect Ritter. We've got to be better. The run game can be better. It was great last week, but it can be better. But we got to make some plays down the field. Guys, we need explosive plays. That's going to be the thing that opens up this offense. It's Dukes and Bell Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Let me hear Desmond Ridder talk about the deep ball to Pitts, and how did he see that?
No, it wasn't a force. And, you talk to a lot of quarterbacks in this league, and, especially when you get one-on-ones, they played a middle field close safety. It was a 3-level read for us. We have Kyle on the deep. Drake was coming across. We have our back out into the flat. They ended up running a manish coverage, so everyone's man. That guy's back's turned. I got, a 6'7" on 6'1". That's a win matchup all day. So we're going to go ahead and be able to go take that. But no, those are the shots that we practice, those shots that we take and that we're comfortable with, especially in a one-on-one matchup.
Right. Hopefully we get more of that. I'll tell you what else we need more of as we talk about our Falcons and as they get ready for Green Bay. Jesse Bates he's not going to have 2 interceptions every week. But he can be a big-time player, Mike, when it comes to how things are done and how offenses try to attack this defense. And Jesse Bates, by the way, for those of you who did not know this, won Defensive Player of the Week. Duh. Yeah. 10 tackles, 2 picks, forced fumble. I mean, he was just all over the place. Here's what he said about winning that award.
Yeah, it's really cool to be able to represent the Falcons in the city of Atlanta, my family. It's easy to do it for 1 week. I just got to be consistent, continue to do that and play at a high level, not just for myself, but for this team.
Yeah, man, he's been there, done that. He's cool like that. But, but you do want to see him do the same thing that he did to a rookie, to a guy who's only got about 3 or 4 starts. And that would be, what Jordan Love's going to be doing, right?
I hope.
Why not center field, man? Go get some of those turnovers.
Well,
flip the field, give your boys a short field the way he did on Sunday.
I don't know what he keyed in on, to be honest with you. And I don't think he's going to say it because we play him again. But whatever it was with Bryce, he was there, man. He was like seeing it before it happened and was able to make a few plays. So big shout out, Jesse Bates. Guys, this is why you spend money on the best free agents when you have an opportunity to. Sometimes it doesn't play out this way. I think, as Arthur alluded to us yesterday, Mike, people don't realize how defensively football's changed and how important that safety position is and what it allows you to do. It does take us back to when Dan Quinn was here, okay? And he was like, I'm going to go get a safety. And we were like, what are you doing?
Right.
It's a big part in what these defenses want to do and how they maneuver with these different packages.
And what's the first thing the quarterback's looking for? Where the safeties are they back? Are they coming up for the run? Now, how you mask that, disguise it. This game is going to be interesting. It's basically the same thing we said all summer long. We got to protect the quarterback and sack the quarterback. And even though we won by, let's be honest, by 14 points, there were times in that game on Sunday we weren't doing a particularly good job of either of those.